Holla the blow, blow, blow. Holla the blow, blow, blow. Holla the blow, blow, blow the man. Holla the blow, blow, blow. Holla the blow, blow, blow. Holla the blow, blow, blow. Holla the blow, blow. We go have a grand time all night tonight. All night tonight. All night tonight. We go have a grand time all night tonight. All night tomorrow night. We go have a fine time all night tonight. All night tonight. All night tonight. We go have a fine time all night tonight. All night tomorrow night. Let me go. Holla the blow, blow, blow. Holla the blow, blow, blow. Holla the blow, blow, blow. Holla the blow, blow, blow the man. Holla the blow, blow, blow. Holla the blow, blow, blow. Holla the blow, blow, blow. Holla the blow, blow.
Well, good evening to you. I'm here again to share your space with you on advancing the cause. Your humble servant, Honorable Coretta McDonald. And like we talked about last week, where we're going to be focusing on labor. And you know, labor or the labor force is what causes the economy to turn and to spill and to bloom. And if we don't have a proper labor force, then you can understand what will happen. But let's look on the brighter side of life, or on the brighter side of things at this time. I'm wondering, how was your day? Mine was not so good, but I'm thankful for life. And I'm sure you are too. Last week, from last week, Wednesday to today, we've had so many things happening. We have seen the atrocities increasing. But I want to say to all of us, I want to reassure you that this will soon end. This week, I want to focus on what has been happening in our labor force. Guyana is no different from the other parts of the world. And so we have not been spared the wrath of COVID-19. And so the pandemic is here upon us. But we would have expected that a thoughtful government, a caring government, and a government that is about the people would be so considerate and have our workforce not all rush into work all at the same time, but that we would have some staggered system with regards to how we man our ministries. But we have recognized that every single one, except for teachers, the workforce, the members, the workers, the citizens, they're all out there at their various jobs. And this is cause for concern, because we have seen a spiraling, out of control spiraling with regards to our numbers, the COVID numbers, the COVID deaths, the COVID infections that we're having. And we're worried because if something is not done very quickly, then you can understand what's going to happen to our labor force, what's going to happen to this country. We don't want that to happen. And so I'm going to call here on the Minister of Health. You wanted that position, and now that you have it, we expect you to do what you ought to do. We expect that as a good leader in your own right, you are going to continue the good path, the good trend that was set there by your predecessor. And you're going to ensure that the citizens of this country, that we are safe, unless you have ulterior motives. And so, just to move on a little further than that, we have seen the dismissals, the wanton dismissals of citizens left, right, and center across this country. We have seen our people being left to suffer. And what I'm going to do for us every week, I'm going to highlight the plight of those persons who would have been dismissed. And I'm going to read for you names of persons who would have been dismissed. And you're going to be surprised at what this atrocious placed in government is doing to the people of this country. And so let me start off by saying to us, it's not going to be an easy road. It's not going to be easy to triumph. But together, we will make it. Together, we will succeed. Together, this country will become the country for one people, one nation, with one destiny, where every citizen is going to be treated equally. This evening on Advancing the Cause, I want to say to us, the task that is before us, it will be a harsh one. It's going to be one where we have to make sacrifices. And the undertaking with those who we have to deal with, it's going to be long and drawn out. But let me say to you, we have to stick together. We have to hold hands together. We have to embrace these oppressors with such a force that they themselves will run for cover. You notice I'm saying we and we and we, because this is not about Honorable Coretta MacDonald, or this is not about the Honorable Joseph Harmon, or this is not about the Honorable Christopher Jones. This is about every single one of us. And we have to put our hands and our hearts and our energies together to fight these oppressors that we have who are trying to oppose us and who are trying to oppress our people. And so let me start off by reading for you some of the names of some innocent persons, some well-qualified persons who were sent home for no reason at all. Or maybe some flimsy reason which said, oh, we are restructuring the ministry. Oh, we are going to now incorporate this or incorporate that. But even in the incorporating, you are sending persons home. So what are you saying to us? We are intelligent people, and you can't take us for a ride. So don't tell us that you're incorporating and you're winding down and you're moving one sector or one section or one department and you're bringing it full into the ministry. If you're going to do that, then it means you'll have to have the entire workforce and not sending persons home. But let me read for you very quickly. We saw the dismissal of Mr. Dale Brown. And Dale was the Deputy Finance Officer at the Finance Secretary at the Ministry of Finance. We had Dr. Vincent Adams. We have Janelle Ferreira Reed, Alicia Primo, Michael Benjamin, Colvin London, Ellis Brash, Trevor Ben, Dr. Mark Bino, Mr. Wayne Mason. Every week I'm going to read 10 names. And so there is it, you have 10 persons who were dismissed for no reason at all. And let me give you this funny joke that the first vice president, that illegal fella there, he decided to pick on Dr. Mark Bino, who said Dr. Mark Bino is not qualified for the job. Well, I am wondering, a man with 2 masters, a man with a PhD in that particular field, he is more qualified than all of those placed in dashing, put-in ministers that we have there. And the goodly man, the first vice president, is saying Dr. Mark Bino is not qualified. And so I want you to understand the gravity and the hatred that these people have for Afro-Guyanese. Because when we look at the trend, when we look at what is happening, the majority of the 897 persons, I think it's what it is now, who have been sent home, the majority of them are Afro-Guyanese. And it leaves one to wonder, what have we done to be given this kind of treatment? I remember many, many years ago, our foreparents came from Africa. They fought the good fight for our freedom. But it seems as if we have to go through this trend again of being slaves in our very, very own country, beautiful Guyana. We will not allow this to go on. We will not condone these kinds of atrocities. You see, these people, it seems as if they don't understand what they are doing. And I want to let them know that the act of playing monopoly with the lives of our people, we will not allow that to condone. We will not allow that to continue. We are going to put a stopping to that. And I'm saying this here, the opposition, the APNU AFC opposition members of parliament, and the party at large, we have already put some systems in place, which you are going to see very, very soon. Very, very soon. And I'm hearing you saying, oh yes, very soon, another very soon. But let me say to you, my brothers and my sisters, we are going to be on the move. And when the train starts, I would want to see every single one of us, Guyanese, here and abroad. I would want to see us all contributing to the movement of this train. You know, there's a song which says, this train is a holy train, this train, that's the train we are going to be moving on. And that train doesn't have space for oppressors. That train doesn't have space for people who want to divide other people. That train is a train that has a tag on it that says, one people, one nation, with one destiny, we are Guyanese. My friends, my comrades, let me say to us, this advancing that we are going to do, and I want to be very mindful, I want to be very careful with my words, lest they cite me for something. But I want to say to us, this revolutionary movement that we will start pretty soon will be that movement where we will leave no stones we will leave on stones we are going to leave unturned. We are going to ensure that every citizen who has been affected would be given the satisfaction they need. In labor, we have seen millions of dollars just this week. Millions of dollars have been pumped. Hundreds of millions of dollars have been pumped into a dead sugar estate, where I've recognized that we're purchasing 44 tractors. 44 tractors at $33 million each. That's what we're going to do to relive or to bring alive a dead that cannot be awoken. I wonder, why are we always, why these fraudulent people are always attempting to allow people to continue to live in dreams? We don't want to live in dreams, we want to be real. And we want these fraudulent people in the government to understand that the monies that you're pumping into the sugar estates, those monies could have been used for other diversification processes, where we could have trained some of those very workers from the sugar estates to fit themselves into other sectors. Those monies could have been used to those monies could have been used within the education sector, within the security forces, within the health sector, within the public service sector, to strengthen our labor force, to uplift our people professionally, rather than pumping those monies there. And of course, we know what is going to happen when they pump all of those monies there. Those monies are not just going there to relive or to rebuild or to revive the sugar estates. Those monies are going there because somebody and somebody and somebody else will get a drawback from it. That's how conniving and corrupt these people are. We talk about a Guyana for all, and that was the tone, that was the theme song, that was the hymn, a Guyana for all. But what are we seeing? We're seeing a Guyana where some are better than some are more favored than some. Because the thing is, as we look at what is unfolding, we are looking at we've seen the steam and the energies that is being thrown towards sugar. What about bauxite? What about the bauxite workers? We aren't seeing anything, any motion, any action, or any talks with regards to those bauxite workers who were retrenched. We're seeing no talks. We're hearing, as a matter of fact, no talks. And I'm wondering, where is the Minister of Labor at this time? Is he sleeping on his words? Is he deaf at this time? Mr. Hamilton, where are you? We're going to have to visit you. Since you are the minister who has been placed with responsibilities for labor, then labor doesn't only cater for one sector of people. Labor caters for the Guyanese workforce, and we're going to have to visit you very soon. I'm wondering, where are you again, Mr. Minister of Labor? With regards to increases for public servants, we have heard nothing being mentioned when it comes to the bonus or salary increases for 2020. I guess maybe like the Honorable Bishop said, at the appropriate time. And I'm hoping that that appropriate time would not be a time when there's nothing much that we as citizens can do. My comrades, my friends, we in the opposition have decided that we are going to bring to the forefront all of these atrocities that are being meted out to our Guyanese brothers and sisters. Last week we spoke about, I mentioned briefly to you about the success issue. And this week we have another issue. We have ongoing COVID. And then just last Friday, we would have had the harassment of citizens continuing, where we saw Calvin London. He was arrested and placed in police custody. And not long after that, and mind you, this young man did nothing wrong. Everything that transpired during his tenure at NISIL was done in accordance with the law. And it's very disgusting. It's very disgusting sometimes when you see people selling their souls and their consciences for a few pieces of silver. It's disgusting. And it leaves one to wonder, where are we really heading? Where are we really going? So Nigel not Nigel, Calvin London has been placed behind in the lockups. And then we saw yesterday Mr. James Bond, another comrade. Well, James Bond, a comrade. Right now, he's in the lockups at Brick Dam. Are we? Is it a place or a stage that is being set that is being set up for a revolution? I want to say to this fraudulent government, I hope you're prepared to deal with the repercussions of your actions. I want you to understand that these men, they have families, they have children, they have wives, they have mothers, they have brothers, they have sisters. And when you trample with people's feelings unnecessarily and for no just cause, people will react. People are going to react because there will come a time when people will decide, when the citizens of this country, when the opposition members of this country will decide that enough is enough. I want to say to us, my comrades, my friends, near and afar, what is happening here, the unnecessary harassment, the unnecessary embarrassment, the unnecessary dismissal of labor and workers within the labor force is high cause for concern. We will not continue to accept this. We will say to all and sundry, long time done, short time left. Long time done, short time left. We are going to fight firmly against any one race domination over another. We are going to fight firmly for any government who decides that they want to go against the regular principles, depending on who you're dealing with. We are going to fight against that. We are going to fight so that every single citizen in Guyana can be treated equally. And let me say to you, my brothers and my sisters, to achieve our political emancipation, we have got to pledge ourselves to liberate all of our people. Not some, all of our people. And we are going to continue to fight that fight, to release our people from this bondage of poverty and suffering and other forms of discrimination. Again, let me remind you that the road to freedom, the road to emancipation, and that's political emancipation, will not be an easy one. But we shall overcome. We will get there pretty soon. Let's hold fast. Let's bond together. Let's come out and meet with our fellow Guyanese. And let's march together to that march of freedom and victory. It's not easy to watch your fellow Guyanese sitting there on the breadline, wondering, where am I getting the monies from to pay my mortgage? Where am I going to get the monies from to pay my rent? Where am I going to get the monies from to put food on the table for my children? Where am I going to get the monies from to pay my utility bills? It's not easy to hear those cries. It's not easy to watch little children not having anything to eat. Where do these people think they want to take us? They want to take us back to the days when, or to relate us to some one of the countries in South Africa? No, we have come too far and we're not going to let up at this time. We will work with every single being in us to ensure we make it to the tape. And so, in concluding this evening, I want to say to us, let us keep the faith. Let us hold fast. The struggle continues. The struggle continues. Comrades, my brothers, my sisters, labor will leave no stone. And I'm repeating that so you can understand. Labor will leave no stone unturned to ensure that our citizens are treated justly. In all of our lives, we have never heard of some of what is transpiring here today, where we have permanent secretaries who were appointed by the Public Service Commission, permanent secretaries being redesignated by ministers, permanent secretaries being sent on leave for nothing at all. And then after a few mornings, your contract, your tenure is terminated. We have got to get to the stage where these atrocities will not continue. Persons will understand when you get into government, rightfully so, you have to act according to the principles that are laid out, according to what is laid out in the Constitution. And it's so hypocritical that we have signed on to so many of the conventions within the ILO, and we are violating every single one. They're all being violated by this fraudulent government. You talk about corruption, it's right back at our doorsteps. You talk about discrimination, it's right there. You talk about friends and cronies and families benefiting, it's right there. Now, let's talk about the COVID situation in our country. COVID is no joke. COVID is real. And here is it, we have a bunch of dunces who sit there and are deciding that people's children, that the citizens of this country, they must go out there to travel in the regular transportation without any form of reinforcement with regards to how many passengers are supposed to be loaded in a bus. No proper systems within the schools to ensure the safety of our students, the teachers, and those who live within the environs of the schools. Everywhere else, and that's other countries, are adopting all the safety measures you can think about. In Trinidad, we have remote teaching being conducted. In Jamaica, we have 17 schools that have been reopened, and the Ministry of Education there, they're running it as a pilot, which would guide their decisions with regards to the reopening for face-to-face schools. But in Guyana, we have decided 21,000 students must be out in schools to have face-to-face interactions with their teachers, not thinking about the dangers that we are exposing our people to. I want to say to us, we will react and we will oppose these procedures and these decisions with the full force. And I want to ask you, our parents, to think constructively, to be wise, and to safeguard the lives of your children and yourselves. Don't allow $4,000 to carry you away, because tomorrow we are going to need your children who are our future leaders. We are going to need them. I want to say to the members of the workforce, the adults, please be careful. Please adhere to all of the advisories that have been issued by PAHO and WHO. Ensure that you are safe. And let me say to you, you have a right to refuse to work if you believe that your safety is at risk. You have a right to refuse to work. And so it brings me here to some of our leaders, our trade union leaders. Let me remind you that your mandate is to secure the safety of your members. Your mandate is to ensure that your members are operating under conditions that are safe. And it is your responsibility not to take a political side, but to ensure that your members are treated justly. And so I want to wake up all of those trade union leaders who are sleeping and to remind you that without labor, you cannot succeed. Without labor, you cannot stand tall. And so I expect you to sound your voices. I expect you to reassure your working force, your members, and to let them understand that whenever they decide to take a rightful stand, that you are going to be there to support them all the way. And so, my trade union colleagues, let's get on the ball. Let's oppose these oppressors. Let's be that storm to uproot and to eradicate the injustices that are being meted out to our people. To those of our brothers and our sisters who have been dismissed from their jobs and who have not yet been able to find another job, let me say to you, our prayers are with you. We are going to try to ensure that we give you whatever support we can at this time. We are going to put the systems in place where we can arrange with sober-minded civil citizens who are managers and CEOs of businesses to find employment for you. We are going to go the yard. And we are asking, my brothers and sisters, that when we sound the call, that you are going to respond and you're going to join forces with us. As I close, I want to say to us that our destiny has already been decided. And I want to extend this invitation to all those of you who are listening to me, to say to you that the office of the opposition leader on Crowell Street is opened from Monday to Friday for citizens who have concerns, for citizens who want to share with us information that they have that can cause things to turn. Any issue that you have, any idea that you have, come down to Crowell Street and share with us. We'll be ready and willing to listen to you. We are ready and willing to assist you in whatever way. So don't hesitate. Come down to Crowell Street at the office of the opposition leader from Monday at 9 to 4:30, Mondays to Fridays from 9 to 4:30. We are there to listen to you. Thank you for having me in your homes. Thank you for allowing me to share with you some of what has been happening to our people. And to say to you, next week, I'll be sharing some more with you. I trust that these information, these bits of information that I'm sharing here with you, it's going to not only arouse you to move and let's have the train going, but it will serve as information to ensure that our country, that you bear in mind and that you share with others and let them understand that this country belongs to all of us. Do have a pleasant evening. Do remember to be safe. And let's keep in our minds the focus which says one people, one nation with one destiny. I'm your humble servant, Honorable Coretta MacDonald, saying good evening and see you next week.